Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about intermittent fasting. First, thank you for coming back to my channel. Thank you for listening to all of my health and nutrition updates and news. And I thought I would do a little video on intermittent fasting because I'm a huge advocate, huge believer, because it's wonderful, but there are definitely some things I want to warn you about, either before you start intermittent fasting, or maybe to put the pieces together of like why that might have happened when you tried intermittent fasting. So intermittent fasting, also known as time restricted eating, and that's where you basically eat whatever you want. There's no calorie restriction. There's no, taking out certain food groups or whatever. Like just classic intermittent fasting is where you have a set eating window, whether it be 6, 7, or 8 hours. And then the rest of the time, day and night, is when you fast and you only consume food and anything that's basically not water in that eating window. And then fasting has been around for thousands of years. This isn't new. It's very therapeutic. It helps with hormones, weight control, helps reduce brain fog, increases energy. I mean, I could go on and on. Intermittent fasting is fantastic. However, it's not for everyone. And that's why I wanted to make this video, because I didn't want some people, some subgroups, or just you to be aware of some warnings with intermittent fasting. So the first one is be aware of the risk of dehydration. You would think that you would not be dehydrated at all, or even have a threat of dehydration, because you only can eat during this certain window, and the rest of the time you're drinking water. But especially if you do intermittent fasting for a while, it's almost like your body stops telling you like you're thirsty. So it just means, I just want you guys to be aware. If you're not thirsty, especially after intermittent fasting for a while, you just don't feel thirsty, you can easily get dehydrated. Usually you're taking in less salt, you're drinking less, and you're probably moving more, because a lot of times people are like, I don't have to think about dinner, or I don't have to think about, food as much, so I end up doing this and this, and they forget to drink water, and then they're dehydrated, and they have headaches, or they have constipation, or other things that come along with dehydration. So be aware when you are in your fasting window, drink all the water. Drink. Don't get dehydrated, because then it makes fasting way harder. And you don't want to have to, maybe stop, or, you're feeling good. You want to keep going. The second warning is if you are taking any kind of blood sugar lowering medication. Naturally, when you stop eating, your blood sugar goes down. Now, if you're taking blood sugar lowering medication, usually means you have diabetes, usually means that your blood sugar is high almost all the time, very often. So it doesn't mean that you can't do intermittent fasting when you have diabetes or high blood sugar, but I'm saying work really, really close with your dietitian or your PCP. They need to know that you're doing this. They need to look at your medications. They need to tailor it. They need to, help you more personalize how you're going to intermittent fast, so you don't get in the danger zone, so you don't bottom out, so you don't, your blood sugar doesn't drop, and you can still successfully intermittent fast. So definitely taking blood sugar lowering medications, work with your dietitian, work with your PCP, and don't get in a bad situation that will just leave you on the floor, literally. Okay, lastly, the one thing that I will pretty much mark in the sand right off the bat is if you want to intermittent fast, but you have had some kind of eating disorder either currently or in the past. Now, I'm totally a believer that you can be completely, you've conquered that beast. You've been delivered. You don't have that kind of issues anymore, or that mentality anymore. And I'm talking about any kind of eating disorder, whether it be binging or anorexia or bulimia. You just have to proceed with serious caution whenever you are intermittent fasting, because sometimes you can feel like you're restricting yourself. And you're not supposed to go into intermittent fasting as with a restriction mindset. You're supposed to go into intermittent fasting as like, this is a therapeutic diet that I'm going to, do to help whatever inflammation, or help my migraines, or, things like that. It's not supposed to be like restricted eating during your eating window. You're just supposed to continue to listen to your body, eat intuitively, still eat well. It's not an excuse to like try to like eat as much as you can during your eating window because you're going to starve. That's the mentality you got to be careful of. And that sometimes, if you've had an eating disorder before, or you currently are, getting over it, you still kind of deal with that a little bit. You can start feeling like your eating can start getting distorted. And that's whenever you need to stop the intermittent fasting. Try a different way. There's a lot of different ways to, reap the benefits of intermittent fasting without intermittent fasting, if that makes sense. Like if you're looking to reduce inflammation, increase your energy, brain fog, there's a lot of different ways to do it. And intermittent fasting does not need to be the way you go about it, just because sanity matters over everything. And if we can't keep our sanity, if we can't, if it just makes us crazy. I've done so many different diets as a dietitian, and growing up as a fat kid, and living in this society, this American society of trying to look this way and be this way. And I mean, I can't say I never have done some of the things, and some of the ways of doing things mess with my head. It was like, no, that screws with me. I'm not going to do it. So just wanted to put it out there too, that intermittent fasting can also kind of trigger some of those distorted eating, and it's just not for you. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Find another way. But that is all I have for you guys today. The 3 warnings of intermittent fasting. I'll put one more. I know I said 3, but I'll do one more, because if you're pregnant or nursing, don't do intermittent fasting. You're pregnant, you're growing a whole new life into your body. The baby's growing. You don't need to do any kind of restriction. You start intermittent fasting and you already kind of naturally don't eat as much. The baby needs more food than you normally just eat. So, and with nursing, of course, sometimes it's hard to even get as much food as you need to make enough milk. And then of course there's the nutrient factor as well. You need to be eating a lot of nutrients. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Pregnant nursing, don't do it. There'll be time after the baby's born, after you're done nursing, you can jump into intermittent fasting. So that's it. That's seriously it. Okay, guys, if this helped you at all, if you found it interesting, please give it a like. Please share it. Please subscribe. Thank you for watching this far. I'll catch you guys next time. Have a blessed day.